Have you ever been asked how many moons the Earth has? Almost everyone answers, instantly and confidently, just one. That calm, familiar moon that hangs in the sky every single night. But here is a strange little secret that astronomers do not always shout about. Depending on exactly how you choose to count, the Earth might actually have several other moons, right now, tonight, while you are watching this. Some of them just drop by for a few months and then leave. Some have been quietly tagging along beside us for centuries. And at least one of them is, more or less, an actual ghost. Tonight, we are going to hunt down every single one of Earth's secret companions, the imposters, the part-timers, the frauds, and the ghosts. Trust me, by the end, you will never look at the night sky in quite the same way again. But before we go hunting for fake moons, we have to be fair and define the real one. Our moon is genuinely enormous, about 3,500 kilometers across, a full quarter the width of the Earth itself. The leading idea is that it was born around 4.5 billion years ago, when a Mars-sized world slammed into the young Earth and blasted a glowing cloud of debris into orbit. The key thing about a true moon is this: it is locked to the Earth by gravity. It circles us faithfully, it raises the ocean tides twice a day, and it is slowly drifting away from us by about 3.5 centimeters every single year. That permanent gravitational bond is exactly what officially makes something a real moon, and not just a passing rock. And our moon does far more than just look pretty. Its steady pull keeps the Earth from wobbling wildly on its axis, which helps keep our climate stable enough for life. It gives us total solar eclipses, and the rhythm of the tides may even have helped life first crawl onto land. In other words, the real moon is a very big deal. So here is our rule for tonight. Anything that does not pass that test, anything that is not truly bound to the Earth, is a fake. And it turns out our moon has a whole crowd of wannabes trailing along behind it. There are pretenders, part-timers, and outright frauds out there. So let's meet them one by one. Our very first suspect is a little asteroid with a surprisingly big name, Kamoʻoalewa. From where we are standing here on the surface of the Earth, it really does look like it is looping around us, circling our planet over and over again, exactly like a tiny little second moon would. But it is faking the whole thing. In reality, it is not orbiting the Earth at all. It is orbiting the Sun, just like we are. It simply happens to travel in near-perfect step with our planet. So from our point of view, it looks like it is dancing around us. Astronomers call this kind of object a quasi-satellite, which is really just a polite way of saying not actually a moon. Picture a jogger in the park who decides to match your exact pace, step for step, lap after lap. It genuinely feels like they are running with you. But they are not on your team. They are not connected to you in any way. They are just a slightly creepy stranger who happens to be going the same direction. That, in a nutshell, is Kamoʻoalewa. And here is the twist that makes this particular rock so special. It is only about 40 to 100 meters wide, and when scientists studied the light bouncing off it, its surface looked weirdly, eerily similar to the surface of our own moon. So there is a real chance that Kamoʻoalewa is literally a chunk of the moon, knocked loose long ago by a violent impact. This little rock is so intriguing that we did not just want to look at it, we wanted to go and grab it. In 2025, a Chinese spacecraft set off on a years-long journey to fly out to Kamoʻoalewa, snatch a sample of it, and carry a piece of our maybe moon all the way back home to Earth. And believe it or not, Kamoʻoalewa is not even alone. Astronomers have found several other quasi-satellites quietly shadowing the Earth, with names like 2014 OL 339. They drift in and out of this strange dance over thousands of years. Our planet, it seems, is constantly surrounded by a small entourage of pretenders. Next up are the mini-moons, and these ones are the real deal, at least for a little while. Every now and then, A small asteroid wanders a bit too close to the Earth, gets snagged by our gravity, and actually begins looping around us, properly orbiting our planet for a few months, or sometimes even a couple of years, before slipping away again. And this is not just theory, it has genuinely happened, several times that we know of. Back in 2006, an object called RH-120 quietly orbited the Earth for nearly a full year. In 2020, astronomers spotted a mini-moon about the size of a small car. And in the autumn of 2024, a little rock nicknamed PT-5 dropped by to keep us company for a few weeks. So how does the Earth catch one of these? It is all about speed and timing. If a small asteroid drifts past at just the right slow pace, in just the right direction, our gravity can gently grab hold and swing it into a loose, looping, temporary orbit. Get the speed even slightly wrong, and it just sails straight past us and is gone. So yes, technically, the Earth really does get itself a second moon from time to time. There is just one tiny problem. Every single one of them eventually packs its bags and leaves, usually within a few short months. Honestly, when it comes to moons, our planet has absolutely terrible luck with commitment. And here's the part that really gets me. Computer simulations strongly suggest that at almost any given moment, the Earth is quietly holding on to at least one tiny mini-moon, maybe just a meter or two across. It is simply too small and too dark for us to easily spot. So there is a good chance there is a secret little moon circling above your head right now, tonight, and nobody even knows it is there. Now let's meet one of Earth's most loyal regulars, an asteroid named Quasi-Moon. It shares almost exactly the same orbit around the Sun as the Earth does. But instead of a tidy little circle, from our point of view it traces out a wild, wandering horseshoe shape, a loop so huge it takes hundreds of years to complete just once. When Quasi-Moon was discovered back in 1986, people got tremendously excited and started calling it Earth's second moon. But it is not really a moon at all. It is simply creeping up on us, then falling behind us, then creeping up again, in a slow cosmic chase around the Sun that never quite ends. Honestly, the best way to picture Quasi-Moon is as the most patient stalker in the entire solar system. It always keeps its distance, it never actually catches us, and it absolutely never, ever goes away. For thousands of years it has been quietly following the Earth around the Sun, and it has no intention of stopping anytime soon. Then there is a special object called 2010TK7. It sits parked in a stable gravitational sweet spot that runs permanently ahead of the Earth as we travel around the Sun. It is the first known Earth Trojan, a faithful travel buddy that leads the way out in front of our planet, always staying just out of reach. And in 2020, astronomers found a second Earth Trojan, an even bigger one. These objects sit in their gravitational parking spots, tracing slow, looping paths that astronomers poetically call tadpole orbits. So Earth has not one, but at least two of these long-term companions riding shotgun around the Sun. And now, at last, the ghost. Scattered around the Earth and the Moon are a handful of very special points in space called Lagrange points. These are the rare spots where all the competing pulls of gravity balance out so perfectly that small objects, or even tiny floating specks of dust, can quietly gather there and simply stay put. At two of those balance points, faint clouds of dust really do seem to collect over time, forming dim, ghostly, glowing patches in the sky. They are sometimes called the Kordylewski clouds, named after the astronomer who first reported them. And they are so incredibly faint that they are almost impossible to see at all. In fact, they are so faint that astronomers argued about whether they even existed for more than 50 years. They were first reported back in 1961, then doubted, then dismissed, and only fairly recently did new observations finally manage to capture the faint glow of these elusive dust clouds again. So these are moons made of almost nothing at all but floating dust. They are so shy and so dim that they spent decades hiding from our most powerful telescopes. Calling them moons really is a stretch. Even the astronomers who study them are not entirely sure what they are supposed to call the things. This whole hunt for a second moon is honestly nothing new. Way back in 1846, a French astronomer named Frédéric Petit confidently announced that the Earth had a second little moon all of its own. Other astronomers carefully checked his math, could not make the numbers work, and the idea quietly faded away. Then, near the end of the 1800s, a German researcher named Waltemath went even further and claimed the Earth had not just one extra moon, but a whole family of them. He even predicted exactly when they would pass in front of the sun. Astronomers watched carefully on the day and saw absolutely nothing at all. And this strange obsession is still alive and well today. Every so often, a post goes absolutely viral online, breathlessly screaming that a brand new second moon is about to appear in the sky next month, huge and bright, hanging right beside the real one for everyone to see. So let me save you the inevitable disappointment right now. A second glowing full moon is not coming next month. It is not coming at all. If you ever see that exciting headline, it is almost always a hoax, or somebody simply mistaking a bright planet like Mars for a shiny new moon. Sorry to be the one who has to break it to you. So, will we keep on finding more and more of these strange moon-like companions in the years ahead? The answer is almost certainly yes, and probably a great many of them. The honest truth is that we have really only just begun searching the sky with the right kind of tools. A whole new generation of incredibly sensitive telescopes, like the powerful Vera Rubin Observatory, is just now coming online. These machines are expected to suddenly spot huge numbers of small, faint visitors that were always quietly out there, but were simply far too dim for us to ever notice before now. Finding these objects is fiendishly hard. They are tiny, they are dark, and they move quickly against the background stars. Astronomers have to scan enormous patches of sky again and again, hunting for a single feint that shifts position from one night to the next. It is a bit like spotting one specific firefly in a stadium full of them. And these little companions are not just curiosities to admire from afar. Quasi-moons and mini-moons sit right on our cosmic doorstep, which makes them ideal targets for future spacecraft, and maybe, one day, for mining their precious metals and water. They could become our very first, easy stepping stones out into the wider solar system. So, after meeting this entire strange crowd, how many moons does the Earth really have? When it comes to a true, permanent, gravitationally bound moon, the answer is still, simply, just one. That one big, bright, faithful moon, and absolutely nothing else. Everything else we met tonight is a visitor, an imposter, or a ghost, just passing quietly through. But it is genuinely wonderful to know that our calm, quiet night sky is actually far more crowded and far stranger than it ever appears. So the next time you glance up at the moon, take a moment to remember the secret crowd of rocks and dust drifting along quietly beside it. And now, before you go, let's see how much of all this actually stuck with one quick question. Quiz 1. The asteroid Kamoʻoalewa appears to circle the Earth. But what is it really doing? 1. It is a true moon of Earth. 2. It is orbiting the Sun in near-perfect step with Earth. Or 3. It is slowly falling toward Earth. The answer is 2. It is a quasi-satellite. It actually orbits the Sun almost in lockstep with us. So from down here, it only looks like it is circling the Earth. And that brings us to the end of today's little tour of the sky. So, did you ever imagine that our one lonely moon had quite this much company up there? Personally, I really love the idea of a shy little ghost moon made of dust, quietly hiding in the dark right above our heads. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you had fun or you learned something new today, please consider subscribing. So, until next time, I will see you in another world.